The Overwatch 100-page First Strike comic has just been cancelled.
Why? Why would you do this?
Here at Curse, we are filled with grief that we won't get to see what was in the book, but we're also incredibly excited about what they might have changed in the world's lore. My bet is it's part of the Sombra conspiracy. To fill the void of the loss, we decided to look at what stories could have been contained in those pages. Would we have finally found out more about the mysterious Liao? Or how it was that Overwatch was able to defeat the Omnics when the most powerful nations on the planet couldn't? Let's talk about what might have been in Overwatch First Strike. The first thing to look at is an early version of the cover that was revealed. It depicts 5 people we know well. Gabriel Reyes, the appointed leader of the team who would later become Reaper. Jack Morrison, Gabriel's fellow enhanced soldier and heart of the team, today known as Soldier 76. Reinhardt, the larger-than-life German hero who fought against the Omnics. Torbjorn, a Swedish engineer with a burning hatred for the Omnics as well as experience in the mechanics of some of the weapons and machines being used by them. And lastly, Anna Amari, a legendary Egyptian sniper trying to make the world a safer place. However, there are some more characters on this cover. Most notable is the girl and the Omnic in the forefront. We predict the girl is the mysterious Liao, the 6th founding member of Overwatch. Then we have the Omnic. This is particularly interesting as they seem to mirror Liao in the artwork. Perhaps this means Liao is an Omnic expert. This would explain her inclusion in a team made largely of grizzled veterans and super soldiers. Perhaps this Omnic is friendly in some way? We can see in some of the panels shown at San Diego Comic-Con that this Omnic seems to be working alongside her on a mission with the rest of the team. The final character on the cover is this Omnic in the background, but this isn't the first time we have seen this machine or one similar to it. An identical Omnic was shown in the Overwatch cinematic trailer. Here it seems to be fighting in the water outside the Sydney Opera House. This is most likely to be a Titan. These behemoths were created with the intention of building skyscrapers, but during the Omnic crisis they were used to tear them down. Torbjorn played a role in the design of these machines. Although it wasn't his idea, he did weigh in on some of the aspects of their design during his time with the Ironclad Guild. So perhaps one of these Titans is the antagonist of the comic? Maybe the first mission for the Strike Team is to bring down a Titan and stop it from destroying a city, but what city? Well, we've got a clue in some more of those panels from Comic-Con. Here we can see a sign riddled with bullets, but prior to getting shot at it most likely read Detroit Omnium. Omniums were the factories that would build Omnics, and they used a self-improving AI to control the factory and automate the process. They were originally created by the Omnica Corporation and built all across the world. However, they were later shut down when the company collapsed. Years later, the Omniums simultaneously woke themselves back up, started creating Omnics, and attacked humanity. We can see Morrison and Reyes engaging the enemy. Now this could be the first strike, but as the rest of the group don't seem to be present, it could also be part of the origin story for these characters, as they were both enhanced soldiers in the US military prior to the formation of Overwatch. So, if it turns out the first strike isn't in Detroit, where else could it be? In some more panels we see what looks like the whole group caught in a snowstorm. There doesn't seem to be any noticeable landmarks, and with the Omnic crisis being a worldwide war, this could be set in a huge number of places. Where do you think it could be? Now, we've looked at where it could take place. Perhaps we should look into what the mission will actually be. As I said, the giant Titan will likely be the initial focus, but we believe the comic will begin to show how Overwatch brought an end to the war. It's never been clearly specified how Overwatch was able to end the crisis when even huge armies fell to the machines, but our theory is they discovered the existence of God programs and found a way to defeat them. God programs are incredibly powerful AI that, amongst other things, can control other Omnics to do their bidding. We believe these AI were behind the Omnic crisis, forcing Omnics to do their bidding and rise up against the humans. Where the God programs came from is anyone's guess, but our theory is they were the culmination of the self-improving AI used in the Omniums. These AIs continued to improve to a point where they became godlike and decided to rise up against their creators. The graphic novel could detail how Overwatch found a way to defeat a God program and quarantined it. Perhaps if Liao is an Omnic expert, this was her role in the team? Maybe she created the Omnic on the cover to be able to resist the God program's control and assist her in some way. While we're on the topic of Liao, I think we should discuss her. This character on the cover isn't confirmed to be Liao, but for the time being it seems like a safe assumption. but her absence from the rest of the game's lore is unusual. Anna Amari, for example, wasn't in the game at launch, but details of her existence were found throughout the game. Liao, however, isn't mentioned in-game at all, and the only reason we know their name is due to it being mentioned in a blog post. So, what happened to her and where is she now? One theory is that she dies on this first mission. Perhaps she shows the rest of the team how to defeat the god programs, but it costs her her life. If this is the case, it could be a sore subject for the other founding members, and would explain why there is no dialogue about her. Another idea is perhaps she went rogue. This could have happened during the first mission or even at a later date. If she did turn on Overwatch, could she now be behind an organization like Talon? There is one final set of panels that were shown at San Diego Comic-Con that we haven't looked at yet. These seem to show a surveillance system. Pictured in the background of some of the images on the left is what could potentially be omniums. Their shape certainly bears a resemblance to the damaged structure from the Detroit pictures. Then there is this man. Who he could be is unknown, but it looks like he shows up on a number of the images, so he could be important. There are a few images of what could be Omnics of some kind, and then we can see this lady. She appears again in a panel where she seems to be briefing Reinhardt before or after a mission. Behind her are blueprints for what looks like Reinhardt's hammer. Lastly, there is this large glowing ball. It seems to be surrounded by the security feeds. Perhaps this is the physical form of a god program? Are you as upset as we are at the cancellation of the comic? What do you think of our theories on Liao and the god programs? What about those last few panels? Any interesting ideas on what they show? Let me know in the comments below. Reading your theories is always fun, and if your idea sparks the creation of a video, we will be sure to give you credit. As always, this has been Jason for Curse saying thanks for watching and enjoy the game.
Are you with me?